I personally have been buying dividend paying stocks and ETFs for around 7 years now, and although dividend investing is far from a get rich quick scheme or anything of the sorts, dividend investing is one of the most passive ways to make consistent income ongoingly, at least in my humble opinion. Now in this video, we're going to go over 5 different dividend paying stocks and ETFs which I currently own and currently generate enough money on a monthly basis as of right now to cover my entire mortgage payments plus some. So if you want to see behind the scenes and get a deeper look into how this all works and see which 5 holdings these are, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. I just finished my brand new dividend investing ebook where I share exactly how I went from 0 to now over 7 figures invested, and also on how I earned more than $6,000 per month in dividends. I also finished my custom dividend tracker that you can use to track your dividend income progress on an ongoing basis. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. So currently my mortgage payment is just over $1,200 a month, and as you can see right here in my 7-figure dividend growth portfolio. This right here is my dividend tracker, of course, which it says as of right now, I earn an estimated $6,276 on a monthly basis. Of course, some months are going to be higher and some are going to be lower, but averaged out, that's kind of where we're sitting as of right now. Now, recently I was going through the math and thinking to myself, wow, there's just a few positions in this portfolio that have been building up over the last several years that just with a few positions, I'm actually able to cover my entire mortgage if I were to choose to do so. But as of right now, I'm actually reinvesting all the dividends into more different dividend paying stocks and ETFs to try to compound this portfolio as large as possible, as fast as possible. But the first position that pays on a monthly basis that definitely adds a lot of dividend income to the bottom line to my pocket on a monthly basis is ticker symbol DIVO, or the Amplify CWP Enhanced Dividend Income ETF. Now, Divo is one of my favorite holdings. I've actually held on to Divo for several years now. And as you can see, Divo's performance has been pretty good long term. The ETF is up around 51%. And Divo basically holds a basket of holdings and also sells cover calls in the basket of holdings in order to earn investors like myself a good amount of dividends on a monthly basis. Now, Divo's dividend yield is around 4.56%, and although Divo doesn't offer the highest dividend yield across the entire market, of course, there are some stocks and ETFs that have a much higher starting yield. Divo is extremely consistent and honestly a really good sleep well at night ETF, knowing that if and when the time comes that I want to start to utilize a small bit or a majority portion of my actual portfolio to cover my bills, which I'm sure I'll do sometime in the future, Divo is definitely a great ETF that I can rely on. The next position in this portfolio that pays me on a monthly basis and definitely adds a lot of dividend income to my pocket every single month is ticker symbol O, or Realty Income, which I currently own around 2,845 shares of Realty Income, which earn me around $700 or so on a monthly basis. Now, just between Realty Income and Divo, we're really pushing close to $900 or $1,000 in dividends just with those 2 positions. Now, Realty Income is probably on your radar or probably even in your portfolio if you are a dividend growth investor. Realty Income is about just as popular as any other stock or ETF out there, but Realty Income, of course, is one of the largest REITs in the entire world, and Realty Income's performance has been great over the long term. Although with Realty Income, ever since the Federal Reserve raised interest rates pretty high, all the REITs across the market, including Realty Income, have suffered, which makes Realty Income, in my opinion, a buying opportunity. Now, Realty Income's forward dividend yield, because of the price performance currently, is at 5.89%, which is not bad whatsoever. Realty Income is also, just like Divo, very reliable and offers a monthly dividend that I've been getting in my pocket for several years now. I think I bought my first shares of Realty Income greater than 5 years ago at this point, and I've been stacking up shares consistently for a while. The next position that I can rely on to give me a pretty juicy dividend on a monthly basis and could definitely help cover my mortgage if and when I choose to use it to do so is ticker symbol JEPQ, or the JP Morgan Nasdaq Equity Premium Income ETF, which as of right now I have around 507 shares, which pay me anywhere from around $200 to $300 on a monthly basis. Now, this is because JEPQ, unlike Realty Income and Divo, does not have as consistent of a dividend. Some months are bigger, some months are lower, but overall JEPQ's dividends are pretty massive. Not to mention JEPQ's performance has been amazing over the last year. JEPQ is one of my favorite covered call ETFs, if not my favorite covered call ETF, that you should definitely look into if you are interested in earning consistent monthly income, but not only that, also looking for long-term appreciation on your underlying asset. JEPQ is definitely one of my favorites, and I'm happy to have over 500 shares across all portfolios as of right now. Now, the last few names that offer consistent dividends into my portfolio on a monthly basis is ticker symbol MAIN Main Street Capital, which I currently have around 234 shares of, which pay me around $65 or so on average per month. And of course, I can't forget my 2,700 plus shares of QYLD, which although QYLD has not performed the best over the last 5 years or so, QYLD does offer a pretty consistent dividend, which in my portfolio currently I earn around $400 or $500 on a monthly basis just from all my shares of QYLD. Now, first looking at Main Street Capital, this is one of my favorite monthly paying dividend stocks. I promise you I'm not one of those investors that are just all hyped on Main Street Capital now that it's doing very well, because over the last year, Main Street Capital has not only paid massive dividends plus special dividends, but also is currently up over 12% over the 1 year time frame. If you are an investor that wants a starting yield of over 6%, and if you're an investor that likes consistent monthly income and capital appreciation, Main Street Capital is definitely a single stock to look into. But like I mentioned, I also own a ton of QYLD, which QYLD has not performed all that great over the max time frame. Although to be fair, over the 1 year time frame, QYLD is in the greens, 7.89% over the last year. A lot of investors, including myself though, either bought into QYLD or continue to buy into it because of this reason. QYLD does pay a larger dividend, 11 to 12% trailing 12-month dividend yield. So for investors like myself that are chasing consistent monthly dividends to at some point, like I said at some point, use these dividends to cover bills like your mortgage, for example, QYLD has been a good option. Although QYLD has not returned the same total return as some of the other options we talked about in this video. So there we have it. Those are 5 specific monthly paying dividend stocks and ETFs that if I were to, as of right now, use all their monthly dividend income that I'm paid currently, I could easily cover my personal mortgage and then some. Now, I say this not to brag, of course, I just say this to show you what the power of consistent investing can do over a long time period. And although I picked out those 5 different positions for this video, just to make a point and just to sort of show you that just 5 of my positions are now earning me greater than $1,200 per month every single month, it doesn't mean that those are my favorite positions within this entire portfolio. I mean, for example, I own 1,000 shares of Apple stock, which is currently up quite a bit more money than I think all those other positions combined. Now, as of right now, like I mentioned, I'm currently reinvesting all the dividends that I'm paid on a monthly basis, and I plan on doing so as long as possible. Even though, trust me, as a 31-year-old dividend investor, it's very tempting to take some of these dividends that I receive monthly or quarterly and buy something fancy, do something cool. I promise myself that I'm going to keep reinvesting the dividends until this portfolio really becomes a compounding machine. And it really is starting to do so, considering on a monthly basis now, if I'm earning, let's say $6,000 on average, more or less, with that $6,000, I technically could purchase over 100 more shares of Realty Income just with the dividend income on a monthly basis. Now, with those 100 shares of Realty Income, I'm going to earn around $25 more on a monthly basis, which of course I can then reinvest, and you get the idea here. But now that we went over 5 different positions in my portfolio that all pay me monthly dividends that if I added them all up, I could easily cover my mortgage payment and then some, I next want to hear from you guys down below. Out of all the positions that we went through in today's video, Realty Income, Devo, QYLD, Main Street Capital, and JEPQ, which is your favorite position? If you could only hold on to one, drop the ticker symbol in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.